Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you break the plateau in your business, which is something, inevitable. Look, I don't have years of business experience, I'm just 18, but I'm just going to show you what has been working for me, what I do when I hit a plateau myself, and this is the exact framework that I give to agency owners, coaches, and consultants who come to me for help. I know for a fact that you consumed a ton of content on every single topic. You watched a lot of videos on how to create an offer. You probably read Hormozi's book on how to create an offer. You consume a lot of videos on how to do cold DMs, cold emails, cold calls, how to do cold outreach. You probably consumed a ton of content on how to do sales. You probably read books like Influence by Robert Cialdini, How to Influence and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Like, you consumed a ton of content. I know it for a fact, but here's the thing. Considering how many videos you have watched and how much content you have consumed, in theory, you should be running a $1 million per month business. Like, in theory, you should be making a ton of money considering how much knowledge you have consumed. Yet, here you are, failed to scale past 50K per month. The reason why you cannot use your knowledge isn't because you don't know enough. You probably do. The reason is actually the opposite, which is what I'm going to break down in this video. But before I do that, you need to understand one thing, and that thing is how to think like someone who is a billionaire. There's something that people call systems thinking, which is a theory, which is something that I learned from Sam Ovens. Systems thinking is all about understanding the fact that there is inputs, and these inputs, they will go through a process or multiple processes to give us an output plus feedback, and all this is happening in an environment. So if you want to apply this concept to business, here's what you get. You have a stranger. This stranger, he will go through process or multiple processes, and you will get a client. Like, that's the ultimate goal. Our goal here is to get a client. So if you want to get client, you need to build a system that's going to get you clients. In your current reality, if you're not getting clients, because it's not because the system isn't working. Every single system works. The reason why you fail is because you have the wrong system. You have the system that gets you haters instead of clients. And all this is happening in an environment. And in this case, the environment is the market itself. If you're working with realtors, the realtor market, the realtor niche is the environment. If you're working with med spas, that is the environment, the market. So you need to understand these things in the first place. Everything is happening in a system. You need to adopt the systems thinking mindset. There's inputs. These inputs will go through a process, and as a result, this will give us outputs plus feedback. And in business, we want to turn a stranger is the input. This stranger will go through process or multiple processes, and we will get a client. That's it. This is what we want in business. Look, before I show you how you fix a plateau, you need to understand how to think first, because the reason why you are stuck is because of you. In the early stages of running a business is nothing but an extension of you. The reason why the business is failing is because you are failing in thinking. It's all about your decision. So if you fix your mind, you will fix the business. But unless you fix your mind, unless you understand these things, how to think, how to make decisions, how all these things work, you will fail. So the first thing you have to do is to understand how to think, and systems thinking is, I think, the best way to think if you want to make a ton of money, be successful. Basically, like, if you want to achieve anything, systems thinking is the way. So now you should understand what systems thinking actually is. And before we proceed, I just want to ask you a question. What do you think is the most important element of a system? I'm not going to give you the answer just yet. I will do this in a second, but just think of something and I will correct you in a second, because most probably you're wrong. So if you want to break down this process that's going to turn someone from a stranger to a client, there are multiple elements. You have an offer, lead gen system, appointment booking system, sales system, and fulfillment system. So if you want to turn this stranger into a client, this stranger first has to see your offer, then your lead gen system, then your appointment booking system, then your sales process, and eventually, as a result, he might or might not become a client. And if you want to break this down visually, this is what it looks like. So you have a stranger. This is this stranger. Now, the first thing we have to do is to make this stranger see the offer itself. He will see the offer. This is the offer. Then he's going to go through our lead gen process. He goes through our lead gen process, and as a result, now we have someone as a lead. Now this lead, he has to go through our appointment setting system. As a result, we will get a booked call. And as a result of that, if we have a good sales process, we will get a client. That's it. Like, you have to break this down, because client acquisition isn't just getting a client. Not like there are multiple different processes. There are subsystems in every single system. And in this system, look, the big system, the main system is us turning a stranger into a client. But if you want to break this down, this is what it looks like. So the first thing we have to do is to make the stranger see the offer, then the lead gen system, appointment setting system, sales process, and finally we can get a client. But unless this stranger sees the offer first, he wouldn't book an appointment, would he? So what I want you to understand is that all these components, they are connected. The offer is connected to the lead gen system. The lead gen system is connected to the appointment setting system. Appointment setting system is connected to the sales process, and sales process is connected to the fulfillment process. Like all these systems, all these processes, they are connected. Here's the thing. The second you understand that all these components are connected is the second you will realize the goal isn't to have the best offer or to build the best lead gen system. The goal is to maximize all these components, because if you have a leak in a pipe, it doesn't matter where the leak is. What matters is that you will not get the outputs you desire. Let's say you have a water pipeline. This is the pipeline. You have the inputs here and the outputs here. Now, if you have a hole in this pipe, you will not be getting as much water as you could be. And it doesn't matter where this hole is. What matters is that there is a bottleneck in this system. And again, it doesn't matter where the bottleneck is. So our goal here is to have a pipe that has basically no holes. And here's the thing, like you can have a good offer, good lead gen system, good appointment setting system, but if you have a shit sales process, it will fail. If you have a bad offer but a good lead gen system, it will fail. Our goal here is to maximize all these components. And the reason why I'm saying maximize is because you can maximize things only in theory, but when it comes to reality, there will always be friction. And this is something you learn in physics. There's always friction, so you will never have a 10 out of 10 offer, 10 out of 10 lead gen system. It can be 9, it can be 8, but our goal here is to almost maximize all these components, because you can never maximize them fully. All these components, they are connected. So it doesn't matter how many videos you watch on how to create an offer. It doesn't matter how many videos you watch on how to do cold DMs. It doesn't matter how many videos you watch on sales. Our goal here is to maximize all these components, because at the end of the day, they are connected. If you fail in one of them, the entire system will just collapse and you will not be getting anything. So that is the reason why you have the knowledge to build a 100 million per month business, but you fail to do so. Now, because you understand this, we can answer the question of what do you think is the most important element of a system? And the answer is feedback, because feedback is the only way a system can communicate with you. If you ever run Facebook ads, you understand feedback. If you ever run a cold email campaign, you understand feedback. If you ever took sales calls, multiple sales calls, you understand feedback. Every single system, it's going to give you metrics. Like in cold email, for example, you will have an open rate, you will have a read rate, positive response rate, appointment booking rate. If you're sending Looms, Loom view rate, again, positive response rate. Like you will get multiple metrics, and metrics is the only way a system can communicate with you. The only way you understand if a system works or not is by feedbacks. So let me make you understand this even better. This is a cold DM process, a typical cold DM process. The first thing you do is to send a message. The first message is sent. Then you will send the offer. Then you will want this person to book an appointment. Then he shows up or not. Then there's qualification. And finally, there is the, not cold DM, but close. Let's say you send the first message, but you're left on red. Now this means there's a problem in your first message. Let's say you send the first message, you get a response back, then you send the offer, but then you're left on red. Then it means there's a problem with your offer. Then let's say you send the offer, you get a positive response, you book the appointment, but then there's no show. Then you understand that there's a problem in your show up process. If let's say you do the qualification, but if you fail to close, you understand that there's a problem in your pitch. The only way you can understand where the hole is in the system is by looking at metrics. But if you're not getting clients, then it means there is a part in this pipe in which there's a hole. And if you want to identify where the part is, you first have to look at metrics, because again, metrics is the only way a system will communicate with you. There is no other way. If you want to solve a problem, if you want to solve the problem in your client acquisition system, the first thing you have to do is to identify the problem. And you will never identify the problem if you never look at metrics. Everything is a system. Everything. If you want to break plateaus, all you have to do is to take a look at the feedback, the metrics, because that is the only way, again, a system can communicate with you, and system will tell everything about itself. It will tell you the good sides, the bad sides, like everything you have to know. And unless you look at feedback, you will never ever be successful. I can promise you that. And if you want to get metrics, all you can do in a business is to create something and then give it to the market. Like you create an offer, you give it to the market. You create a cold DM process, you give it to the market. You create a sales process, you give it to the market. And by giving it to the market, I mean testing it. Because unless you have enough data, enough touch points, you cannot understand the validity of a system or of a process. Let's say you watch a video, you create the best offer in the market. Like, it's a fact, you have the best offer, but you think that your offer is shit, so you never use it, you never test it. You had the best offer, you had the power to dominate the market, you had the potential, but because you didn't test it, you failed, and now you have to create a new offer, which is going to be worse because you had the best offer and you didn't use it. And any offer you will create after that, it's not going to be as good as that one. The only way to understand if something works or not is by giving it to the market, because the market is the ultimate judge in business. Thanks for watching till the end. If you want a video on how to create the best offer, you can check out the video on the screen right now. Thanks for watching till the end once again. Have a good day, have a blessed day, and yeah, take care. Bye.